Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is part 2 of the one-shot titled Saved from last week. Enjoy! You waited until his breathing had stabilized into a deep, rhythmical pattern. Then you placed a cloth across his eyes, just out of habit. You found it easier to work on your creatures if you couldn't see their eyes. With your right hand you placed it on Izuku's black wing, stretching his wing out so that you could get a good look at it. You needed to make sure that it was indeed the wing of an animal and didn't possess any human bones in it. Otherwise that could cause passive problems if you were to remove it and then later find it to be of human origin. After checking the wing over, you walked around the other side of the Nomu and felt down the backbone, feeling it gently to determine its origin. From what your quirk picked up, it was of tiger origin. Okay, so that means the main body is tiger. You then moved to the legs, feeling them each to see if they were predominantly tiger. The back legs were, but the front legs were of human origin, with tiger paws on the end. This is going to be difficult, since the tiger is not complete. Its body and back legs are intact, but the front legs and head are missing. I don't think I can save the tiger part. Sadly, you moved to the neck and shoulders of the Nomu chimera, and determined that the head, neck, and front legs of the creature were all human. So where did the arms go? Did Izuku have no arms? Is that why he gave himself to the experiment? Slowly you felt down the ribs of the chimera creature, your quirk picking up that the human arms were stretched back and fused with the ribs of the tiger. At discovering this, your countenance brightened. The human aspect is complete. I can save Izuku. You then felt around the head of Izuku, noting that a lot of his facial features were fused with that of a domestic cat. Is the cat's DNA mixed in with the human? Could I pull the cat out? Smaller creatures are easier to separate. Leaving that question unanswered, you went back to feeling the wings of the Nomu to see if the rest of the eagle was deep inside. I'm pretty sure I can save the human, the eagle, the cat, but maybe not a tiger or viper. If the basis of the snake is still within the body, I won't know until I start to pull them apart, I guess, but my main priority is Izuku. Now that you had discovered the makeup of the Nomu, you placed your hands gently on the chest of the tiger and called forth the human matter, using your fingers to pull gently at the human body as it started to materialize out of the middle of the Nomu's chest. That's it. That's it, you whispered to yourself as Izuku's body started to separate from the rest of the creature. You kept an eye on the heart of Izuku, making sure that it came with the body and didn't stay inside the tiger. Once you had pulled his body free, you slid your hands lower and started to pull his legs free from the tiger's paws, watching the whole area glow as you worked. Slowly his feet became visible, and you set him down gently in front of the Nomu, then gently uncovered his eyes and started to remove his head from the cat ears and nose. You could see his facial features morphing, and his eyes welled with tears. Although he was deeply unconscious, you could tell it was a painful process, and your heart ached as you worked, watching as his nose glowed and then settled back to a human nose. It was a slow-moving procedure. You had to keep your eyes on all of his vitals as you separated him from the rest of the chimera, and the minute you had pulled him free, you placed a warm blanket over him and then got to work on the other creatures. The cat was the next on your list, and you reached for the glowing section on the Nomu's head, dragging your hands up slowly and pulling the unconscious cat from the rest of the chimera. It was relatively easy to extract, but its heartbeat was weak, and it was missing one front leg. Quickly you moved it to another table and got to work inserting a drip into its little remaining front leg to give it some much-needed fluids and vitamins. The poor little thing hadn't fared too well during the extraction, but you suspected that it hadn't been well even before the experiment had been done. Next you went in for the eagle, but as you tried to extract it with your quirk, the backbone of the tiger started to wriggle and twitch. "What the?" you gasped. You weren't expecting movement. It twitched again, so you placed your left hand down on it to see what was going on. Then you realized the tiger backbone had been reinforced with snake bones and the snake was intact inside. Surprised, you pulled it free. It was in good health, so you quickly put it into an aquarium-type cage with lid and went back to work on the extraction of the eagle. This one was trickier, since the chimera was now unstable with only 2 of the 5 entities intact, and the eagle started to glitch heavily as you tried to pull it from the tiger's body. These 2 must have been the first to have been fused, you thought, sweating a little as the quirk heat burned into your forearms. The whole tiger's body glowed, and the eagle let out a ghost-like bird screech as you pulled a little more, the wings bending back as your hands shook. "Come on," you strained out. "Come on." The body stuck, and the eagle opened its eyes and looked at you, its face flooded with worry. "It's okay. It's okay. I can do it," you panted, hoping that the ghost-like eagle could hear and understand what you were doing. "Please, come free." You tried again, and the ghost-like form screeched again, and you stopped pulling and just held the eagle suspended half out of the tiger's body. "Why won't you come free?" you asked it rhetorically, looking it over to see what was fused. The back of the eagle was joined with one of the vertebrae of the tiger, and thus it was so interwoven that you couldn't pull it free. Not even your quirk could undo that level of fusion. "Oh," you said softly to the eagle as it looked at you. "I'm so sorry. You sighed. "I'm sorry. I can't get you free. I'm so sorry." Your eyes welled with tears, and your hands stung from holding the life of this beautiful creature, suspended half out of the Nomu's body. "The pain will end soon. I'm so sorry," you said in a wobbly voice as you slowly allowed the body to fuse again. The whole body was glowing, and you deactivated your quirk, then reached for the euthanasia equipment. With a heavy heart and aching arms, you slowly injected the unstable tiger-eagle hybrid, and the body lay quietly in death. But you didn't have a chance to mourn the loss of the eagle and tiger, as you had to attend to the little cat and your human, who you'd managed to save unscathed. Wiping your tears, you checked the boy's vital signs again, and although he was weak, he was okay. The little cat was slightly improved too, so you rang for the ambulance to take Izuku, the human boy, to hospital, while you nursed the cat back to health. The ambulance arrived shortly after you hung up, and you carefully helped to put him on the stretcher. "He's still under the influence of my quirk, but it will wear off in another 20 minutes, you told the paramedics as they moved his unconscious body. "He told me his name was Izuku. I don't know the backstory, but he was pulled from a quadrimammalian chimera. He, the cat, and a snake are the only survivors. I couldn't separate the tiger and eagle, unfortunately." "I see. You did very well to get even 3 out," the paramedic said. "We'll take it from here. Thank you for your work." "You're welcome," you said with a bow, watching as they took Izuku away. "I hope he makes a full recovery," you thought as you went back to check on your little cat and the snake. Over the next week you nursed the little cat back to health. The snake was doing very well, so you didn't have to do much to get its health back up, and although the cat was missing a leg, it was a happy little thing and made a full recovery. At the end of the week you received a call. Hello? My name is Izuku," the voice on the other end of the line said to you. "Izuku?" you asked. "Izuku as in—" Yes, you saved me," he said softly. "I just wanted to thank you, and I wanted to ask, the little cat? I remember a cat." Yes, the cat you were fused with. I still have it here. It's doing very well. It's a little boy cat," you said with a smile into the phone. "Oh, I'm so glad. Do you have anyone to look after him? If you don't have anyone to look after him, would I be able to have him?" Izuku asked. "I've done my rehabilitation. They've told me I can go home now. My mum's going to pick me up this afternoon. I was a Nomu for a long time, and I feel very close with that little cat. We went through a lot together." "Yes, I don't see why you can't keep him. You're welcome to come and get him with your mum when you get out," you said gently. "Thank you, and thank you for saving me. I was kidnapped, and I didn't think I would ever see my mum again," he started to explain. "I was so scared." "You did so well to hold out for so long. I'm glad I was able to free you," you said. "Yes, well, I'll see you this afternoon. Then I can thank you in person," he said after a little pause. "Okay, Izuku, I'll see you soon." And then you hung up. Izuku did come and get the little cat a few hours later, and his mum gave you the biggest hug. It was clear that you had worked a miracle by your own hands, freeing this little boy and giving him human life again. The little cat was only too happy to go with Izuku, and purred loudly in the boy's hands as he left. Just another day done and dusted, you sighed with happiness, heading back into your clinic after waving them off, aiming to finish up for the day. And it was a happy ending after all, an unusual one shot, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. See you next Wednesday for yet some more interesting and different stories. See you then.